Now, I started the week off on a positive note because it was my sweetheart's birthday last week, and we spent the day taking in some sights in my hometown, New York City. That meant some decent walking, which compared to the week prior, meant an extra 15,000 steps, so not a bad way to kick this challenge off. Now, of course, I'm sticking with my weight training, and I'm still recycling some of the late training blocks from the TSA program I just completed, and I'm currently in the final peak block. However, I'm throwing in a little variety with some additional isolation work and adding in some tempo work. For the official start of this challenge on Monday, 4/26, I weigh 222.4 at 24.7% body fat. That's a shirtless shot from the same morning. Personally, I feel like I'm closer to 20% body fat, but that's fine as long as we see some consistency from the scale. Maybe the pictures would tell a different story from the scale, but only time will tell. Now, to help keep my nutrition on target, I always use reminders from my phone for meal times. I typically have a cup of tea in the morning when I start my workday at 7 a.m. Then I start with breakfast at 8, snack at 10:30, lunch at 12:30, and then an afternoon snack like a protein shake at 3 p.m. Now pre-workout a half hour later, and finally dinner at 6 p.m. I'm pretty consistent with that, but dinner can fluctuate sometimes depending on when dinner is ready and when my workout is done. Breakfast is usually oatmeal or cereal, and day one of the challenge started with a bowl of oatmeal with some added whey protein, strawberries, and bananas. I love orange juice for my breakfast, but I've been cutting back in both quantity and frequency. So instead of OJ each morning, I'm alternating with water every other day. I may attempt to eliminate OJ altogether, but it's currently my only vice. For my morning snack, I typically have something like a couple of hard-boiled eggs or yogurt with mixed nuts and water. As I promised myself, I'm on the Echo bike more often, and I'm targeting at least 3 times per week consistently, supplemented by the other cardio as a bonus towards a caloric deficit. Anyway, for lunch, I either have leftovers for dinner or a pre-packed nutritious meal from Freshly. They're fairly good in terms of nutrition, and they taste pretty good in my opinion. This one was turkey meatloaf with 420 calories, 24 grams of fat, 25 grams of carbs, and 32 grams of protein. I like to keep my macro ratio as close to 40-40-20 for the most part, or in total for the entire day when possible. For the Echo bike, I typically target a HIIT program where I'm all out for 10 seconds and resting for 20 seconds for 8 cycles total over just 4 minutes. Here you can see the graph shows the initial spike in heart rate while on the bike prior to starting my weight training for the day. It's interesting to see some spikes during lifting, almost peaking as high as it did on the bike, so that's great. The bike is a true pain in the rear, as it is expectedly difficult. Nonetheless, I'm sticking it out and hope it gets easier over time. This torture is for myself, and in the end, I'm sure I'll be happy with the results. Now, as stated, I'm still using the TSA program and I'm still making progress. I'm getting stronger each week, and even though there are some bad days here and there, the good days far exceed those bad days. Day 2 weigh-in was down at 221.5 at 24.4% body fat for a slight decrease. Breakfast the second day was cereal with skim milk and a hard-boiled egg and water. The morning snack was another egg with mixed nuts, blueberries, and a cup of green machine juice. Lunch again was the turkey meatloaf with cauliflower mash and broccoli. The afternoon snack pre-workout was some leftovers of rice and kidney beans with broccoli and 2 hard-boiled eggs. Then I hit my weight training. Workout planning goes as follows: 4 days of weight training with the other 3 days of the week for targeted cardio and a core workout. Target cardio is either the Echo bike, walking, and when my heavy bag arrives, hopefully this week, 10 minutes on the bag. Core workout is typically 10 minutes straight with only 10 seconds of rest in between variations. This is a graph of the heart rate from the core workout, which I want to get back to roughly 3 times per week. Post-workout dinner was heavier than desired, but it was an exception for the week, and it was pasta with meatballs. All right, so I got my gloves. Now I'm just waiting on the heavy bag. So I can be really serious about that cardio. See what happens. I'm hitting the Echo bike for now and getting out for walks. I got to get into my core training a little bit more, but I'm happy to have the gloves. I'm looking forward to hitting the heavy bag and getting some more calorie burn, as long as refining my punch technique. But for now, this is a start. Let's just hope the heavy bag arrives soon. It was supposed to be here yesterday, but there was a delay with FedEx, and now they're talking about Friday or Saturday. We'll see how that goes, but this is a start. Keep your fingers crossed on me. My schedule was thrown a bit this week, so I had to leave bench and incline bench for another day, and it ended up being another 22 minutes to get through the warm-up and full sets, but it helped get the heart rate up an additional day, so it was a bonus for me. Incline bench still feels great, but I'm not pushing it too hard. Breakfast the next day was cereal with skim milk and a hard-boiled egg. And I'm back on the Echo bike for the second time this week. My morning snack was yogurt with blueberries and more water. The Echo bike does what it's meant to do, and I think it's very effective in that regard. It's like when you have an actor who you strongly dislike because of a role they played. You've got to give them props for playing the role so effectively you had strong feelings about them as a person. The Echo bike is like that for me. Anyway, in the middle of the week, my body fat was down slightly and muscle mass was up slightly. I wasn't expecting to see a dramatic change in the first couple of weeks, but hopefully things will kick into gear and the gradual changes will turn into more pronounced changes. My weight training is still going quite well and I'm still making good progress. After completing my TSA program, I updated my 1 rep maxes for the later cycles I was going to repeat, and I'm still progressing according to the updated program. I'm feeling good overall and I'm still optimistic about the fat loss. The struggle would be in trying to maintain my overall weight while losing fat. I may have to increase my protein intake to really maintain and increase my muscle mass while burning through fat and general weight loss, but we'll see how it pans out. I'm okay with shedding a few pounds towards achieving my body fat goals. My deadlifts in particular continue to see nice gains and the bar is moving really well, so I'm quite excited to see where I get with my new 1 rep max. Hip thrusts still feel great, and although the combination of hip thrusts and deadlifts on the same day fatigue my back the next day, it's obviously working as the strength gains continue nicely. I'm mostly keeping the weight for triceps and biceps fairly consistent without increasing, as I'm not trying to overtax them. These are just accessory movements, so it doesn't have to be all-out strength increases. Now, I had moved my recumbent bike from the basement to my office, so when I have certain meeting calls where I just have to listen in, I try to get on the bike for at least 10 minutes just to burn through some extra calories. Without realizing it, I was able to get my heart rate into the intense zone for about 4 minutes, so this could benefit me down the line. Now, this was the second squat day of the week, and the bar was moving quite nice for me on this day, which was a change from Monday squats where I failed on the last set. I generally did not feel good that day, but this day really made up for it with the way my squats felt. So to recap the week, I'll show the weigh-ins back to back so you can see the progress. I'm also including some of the core workout I did one day during my lunch break in the top right corner. Lat pull downs are really feeling solid at this mostly steady weight of 155 pounds, as are the single arm dumbbell presses at 40 pounds. Easy curls are feeling stronger, but I haven't increased the weight from the 65 pounds just yet. Pullovers are something I've added to the mix because it has been quite a while since I've done them and I really like them. Of course, I'm still doing my face pulls consistently. I'll wrap up here with the final day of deadlifts where the bar continues to move well, and this is the top set at 275 pounds, followed by the drop set at 250 pounds, along with the heart rate graph from the day's workout. I ended the week down 0.5 pounds, 0.3% body fat, and up 0.3% muscle mass, so everything is going well. I'm looking forward to additional progress next week, and I hope you'll stay tuned. Also, please let me know if you're following along with some fat loss goals of your own. I'd appreciate the company, and I encourage you to do the same. Until next week, take care, everyone.